Hi, this is Richard Blade, and you're listening to the Blue Zone Podcast Network as it presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s, albums which have earned a permanent place of honor, both in our hearts and in our record collections.
Everyone on your feet, stand at attention. This week's episode of the podcast is being brought to you by Presidential Peanut Butter Cider.
Yes, I guess it is in a way.
It is. Where was that from again? Hershey?
It's the brewery at Hershey.
The brewery at Hershey?
Yes.
Presidential Peanut Butter Cider. It sounds like it would be disgusting.
Right.
In truth, it's delicious.
It is. It is surprisingly delicious.
So that's what we were enjoying right before we sat down here to record this episode.
Yes.
So we hope you enjoy the great peanut buttery. Oh, if you have a peanut allergy,
yeah, you better
may
warn
want
people.
to skip this episode of the podcast.
That's right. Yep. Don't want to contaminate you with that peanut butter.
That's right. So, hi, folks. My name is Brian.
And I am Sarah.
We are your hosts for the Permanent Record Podcast as we go into, what is this, episode 82?
Yes, I believe it is episode 82. Not of The Cure.
No, it may feel like it to some
I know,
people.
right?
Some people who don't like the dark, moody ways of Robert Smith and his band of merry men.
Merry men. That might be tongue in cheek there.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think it is episode 82 of our whole podcast in general. And this is part 3 of our look at Disintegration.
That's right. And we are taking the whole month of May to celebrate this band on the 30th anniversary of this album.
That's
and,
right.
of course, their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which we talked about 2 episodes ago.
We did.
And our heads are still reeling
I know.
from the experience of seeing it.
Yeah.
On TV. We weren't there.
No. Oh, man, that would have been great.
I know. So, Sarah, the first thing we got to take care of this week.
Yes.
This probably happens more than I care to admit. Mm-hmm. I just never really bring it up.
Okay.
But I stand corrected.
You.
On something I said. Yep.
You stand corrected. Wow. This is amazing.
Oh, before I reveal what it was that I said wrong, let's all enjoy this.
It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, The Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
I still love that.
I do too. And did you happen to catch the article I sent you about his reaction to that?
I did, yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, he was astounded by the fact that it was being shared all over the world. And people now, he said people who don't pay any attention to him now want to get selfies with him.
Yeah.
Because they love that clip so much.
Autographs and all that. He was like bewildered by this sudden burst of like fame again amongst people that he's been dealing with for years.
Yep. It's so funny.
I know, but it is so perfectly Robert Smith, and yeah, he has to understand that. It's just great. I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing that.
I know. Well, we'll see. We'll play it every episode from now on until one of us says, "I'm now officially tired of it."
Maybe just stick to the Cure related ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can't put this off any longer.
Okay.
I stand corrected.
All
I was
right.
told that something I said on the first part of the Cure podcast was incorrect. And upon going back and checking the liner notes on my CDs, I was indeed wrong.
Oh, no.
Yep, I believe I mentioned sort of offhandedly, off the cuff there, that Reeves was being inducted with the band but had never played on a studio recording of The Cure.
Oh, yeah. We were kind of busted on the fact that he made it in with just barely as many contributions to the band as some of the other members.
Right. But actually, he did play with the band on a recorded moment. He played guitar on the song Wrong Number, which was the new track on the second compilation album, Galore.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't actually realize that he had been around for that long.
Yeah, because that was quite some time ago. Was that around 2000?
I don't even remember anymore. It's no point in me estimating dates because I'm so off with everything I estimate.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just said 2000 because it seemed like it was a long enough time ago that it was probably possible. I really don't know.
It probably was around there because I think it goes up to the Wild Mood Swings album.
Okay. All right. Well, because then Blood Flowers would have been out, so I'm sure there's
Right.
nothing from Blood Flowers on there.
Right.
Okay.
Which I listened to Blood Flowers this past week, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I listened to that podcast that we mentioned last week,
Yes.
The Holy Hour.
Right.
I listened to their discussion of Blood Flowers. And I thought they sort of were a little harder on it than it deserved to be. I was like, I think I remember really actually enjoying this album. And I was correct. I did really enjoy it.
Oh, good.
They were right with their evaluation of the next album, the one just called The Cure. That one's really hard to get through. But Bloodflowers, I think, is really good.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
very
Sarah.
good.
I heard you say that you had some sort of interesting tidbit, Cure-related, some news or something.
Yes, I do. I do. It's from a couple of weeks ago now. It was May 4th, I believe, that this news came out. And director Tim Pope has...
I love that guy.
Yes, he does some great work. He does really great work for The Cure. And he did some great work last year when he was filming the 2018 Hyde Park concert. And that film is going to be released this summer as a cinematic film out in the theaters. It's
Here in America?
Well, I don't know. That I don't know. I'm hoping against all hope, maybe.
Yeah, really?
That it will be released here. It's going to be a documentary. It's going to be kind of based on the fact that it was their 40th anniversary. And he put a picture up in April. Looks like it's probably from the film because it looks like it's a silhouette of Robert Smith. And I love that he said this. He says, "Yes, it's true what Robert has announced, that our film of Hyde Park will hit cinemas in early summer." I love that he had to confirm that what Robert said was true because as we know, Robert is prone to telling lots of lies. So yeah, but the director said that the documentary is going to include never before seen material from Smith's personal collection,
Wow.
including interviews, bootleg footage, and rare performances. So I'm really hoping that it comes out in America. We'll have to check probably the Fathom events page to see if it would be shown in that.
Oh, yeah,
in
they
that-
might show it. They do some really good concerts sometimes.
Yeah, they do. I think we'll just kind of keep an eye on the Fathom events page and see if it's going to be out. in
Smart. Because
that-
I lived through it once with Cure and Orange when I was a teenager. Knowing that Cure and Orange was going to be in theaters.
Yeah.
And I kept, maybe it'll come to Philadelphia and I can convince my parents to take me to the movies
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Right.
And
Well, if that's where it ends up being shown, I think you and I could probably make a trip to Philly.
oh, yeah, we could. I wouldn't have to ask my mom.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So, yeah, that should be great.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Everybody keep an eye on it. And if you guys see anything out there pertaining to the release, especially if it's going to be out in America, please let us know so just in case we miss it somehow. Thank you.
And Sarah, as you mentioned about Robert Smith being a bit of a liar at sometimes, last week I hinted that I no longer believed. Well, I didn't really hint because I just came out and said I no longer believe that the album will be out in October. The new album that Robert Smith has been claiming will be out in time for Halloween. I no longer think it's going to be out in time for Halloween. I haven't seen anything that said it's not going to be, but this is why I'm thinking it. Because I've read some recent interviews as I was researching stuff for this show. In one interview, he being Robert, was talking about how he enjoyed the fact that Love Song took everyone by surprise on Disintegration and kind of broke up the gloom. And in that interview, he said he now wants to include a song like that on this new record.
Oh.
But that he would have to write one first because every song that they've written for the album is doom and gloom
Yeah.
and completely oppressive.
Right.
So he wants to write a new song,
Okay, so...
which he hasn't even started.
Okay.
And he mentioned that he had to finish writing the lyrics for the songs that are finished.
Then they're not really finished, are
Right,
they?
so he's going to have to go in and record the vocals. And he recently said it will be released, quote, before Christmas, or I don't know what I'll do. I still need to sing some of the songs,
Gosh.
end quote.
Oh, man.
So it's conceivable that he could go in and get that done in time, but I know they're curating some concerts and doing a couple live appearances and stuff.
Yeah.
So-
They just signed themselves up. They have the stuff this month in Australia for the 30th anniversary of Disintegration. And I don't know what they're doing in the months following that, but then later in the summer, they have this festival now out in California that they've curated. And of course, they'll be a part of that. There's certainly some time in there. He could throw together another song and get in the studio somewhere and record some vocals. But
There is time, but will he?
yeah, I don't know.
And of note, I just want to tell you this. Robert always says this album is our last album. There's
I
two
know.
things you can count on when a new album comes out. Robert's going to say this is the best album we ever did.
Yep.
And he's going to say this is the last album we're ever going to do.
Yep. And the last tour.
But I saw an interview this past week with Roger.
Yes.
Where Roger said, I have a feeling this will be the last Cure album.
Yeah, and I saw that as well, and he seemed like much more like that he believed it too, more than he had in the past.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it's certainly much more possible as the years go on. It's much more possible.
Very
But,
true.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get whenever we can get it.
That's right. All right. So before we jump into the music, I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about the artwork for this album.
Yeah, we actually didn't do that yet.
We did not. We were so busy in that first episode talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we
Yeah.
didn't talk about the artwork and
Yeah.
the cover.
And I don't know what our excuse was last time, but now is the time to talk about it.
That's right. Much like, most of the preceding albums, this album cover and artwork was done by Parched Art,
Ah, yes.
which of course is the duo of Pearl Thompson, the guitarist from The Cure, very artistic fellow,
Yep.
and his friend Andy Vella.
Okay.
Vella has designed records for many artists, including St. Vincent, the Rolling Stones. Pavement is another name I saw that I sort of recognized. And he has created book covers for Margaret Atwood, one of your writers that you like, and other writers. I saw the names and I didn't recognize them, so I didn't write them down.
Okay.
But it seems like he has quite a wide field that he works in.
Sure.
It's not that he's limited to like hanging on the coattails of Pearl Thompson.
Okay.
So the first time this pairing worked with The Cure was on the cover of the album Faith.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then their single Primary. Then they sort of took a break and came back in time to do The Top. And from The Top on, they were the go-to artists for The Cure albums and most of the singles up until Galore. I think Wild Mood Swings was credited to Andy Vella and The Cure.
Oh, okay.
And I think that Galore was credited to Andy Vella.
Oh, all right.
Galore was that
it's got
cool one with the baby with the ice cream cone on the beach.
Right, yeah. It was kind of like a reversal or the opposite of Standing on the Beach because it was an old man on the beach and this was a baby at the beach.
Yep, I love that one.
Yeah.
So in Roger O'Donnell's website, there's a big, long question and answer section that has a lot of good information. And I think it was from that website that I saw a quote from him. He said, around this time, there was talk of the artwork and that Robert was thinking about using somebody other than Paul and Andy.
Yeah.
Who had done most of the cover art up until then. The Cure album covers had always been very abstract and never had images of Robert or the band on them. Suddenly, Paul and Andy delivered a cover with Robert's face on it. There were murmurings that they had done this so their cover would be chosen, which I thought was funny.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I read that as well. And yeah, this is the first Cure cover that had any band member's face on it. Of course, if you're going to pick a band member to have a face on, it's going to be Robert's because he is the face of The Cure. Yeah, and of course, the previous album, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, did have him on it, but it was just a big old close-up of his lips. So
that's right. I forgot about that.
You wouldn't really know they were his lips. I mean, you probably would kind of guess that, but it wasn't like obvious from that close up. So yeah, so first it was his lips and now we've kind of zoomed out and we get his whole face.
Yeah. Now, because of the way I was raised, Sarah, and by that I mean...
What does that mean?
My whole world revolved around Depeche Mode.
Ah, yes.
Because of that, I was raised thinking that it was cooler to not have your picture on the cover of your album.
Oh.
Because Depeche really didn't do this.
That's for sure.
But right around almost the same time period, it wasn't quite. It's 3 or 4 years either way. The Mode finally did it too with Songs of Faith and Devotion.
True.
They had their pictures on that one.
Rather abstract version of it, but yes, they were
still there.
Right.
But I'm proud to say I'm proud of both groups because, to the best of my knowledge, from this one misstep on each group's part, I don't think we've seen the band then. I mean, we've seen like drawings. Oh no, Robert's on Blood Flowers.
I was just going to say, what's on the cover of Blood Flowers?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it's like
sure
a really
black and white and a little bit of red drawing of his face. Yeah, he's on there.
But Depeche Mode never did it again.
No, they didn't. Nope. I like this cover. I think it's cool. And I hadn't really given it a whole lot of thought, but I knew that we were going to be discussing it. So I thought I better come up with some thoughts on it. And here's what I came up with when I took a little bit of time. I think it really goes well with all this water and rain imagery that we get in these songs, because to me, if you look at it, it kind of looks like Robert is looking up at us from underwater, like a pond with flowers and leaves scattered on top of it.
Oh yeah, it does.
I think that's the image I get from it.
Yeah, I really like the album cover. I think it's quite cool. It looks good on t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I would say it's my favorite Cure album cover, actually, narrowly beating out my beloved sombrero-wearing skull on the cover of Head on the Door.
Oh.
You remember how much I love that skull with the big sombrero and the hands are reaching up to grab them?
Yeah, if that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's my second favorite. But this is my favorite because it's so iconic.
It is iconic. Yeah, and because it's got his face on it. I mean, that really makes it, this is definitely a Cure album.
Yeah, I think they did a great job.
Yeah. I don't know what my favorite Cure album cover might be. Kind of like Wish.
Wish is cool.
And I do like the one that's called The Cure, just because it has the drawing from the children.
Yeah, I love the children's drawings, but I just don't like the music that much.
It's a ridiculous premise for an album cover, I guess. But
I like Alt End.
Yeah, that's a good song. But no, this is a really good one, obviously. It's just about as iconic as the album itself. So shall we talk about the album itself?
Let's talk about the album itself. So last time we got through 4 songs.
Yep.
This time we're going to tackle another 4 songs.
Yes.
All right, and the first one that we have on our agenda for today is called Last Dance.
To hair and contentment that
song that didn't appear on the original vinyl pressing of the album.
That's right.
This is the first album that Robert envisioned as a CD from the very get-go. So it clocked in at around 70 plus minutes and ended up being just a little too long for vinyl.
Right.
And this was one of the 2 songs that had to be dropped from the vinyl pressing to make room for the songs that they wanted to include.
Yeah, that must have been a tough decision, I suppose.
I imagine. And I used to always feel really bad for the people that didn't have the cassette. I was like, oh man, if you had to get the vinyl, you didn't have 2 songs. That's
Yeah.
like incomplete.
Yeah.
But of course, if you buy the record on vinyl now, it's a 2-record set and you get everything.
Well, that's good.
Corrected that mistake.
Well, it was just the circumstance. This was an album track, but a live version of this song was included as the B-side of Pictures of You.
Es verdad. So Opus Magazine said that this song is a perfect example of The Cure's uncanny ability to be both thoroughly enchanting and thoroughly depressing within the same song.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
I think it's a little more depressing than enchanting in truth.
Well, yeah. I have some reviews I've been going through, some of these same ones from the same sources because...
Like the Billboard
Yes.
review where the guy gave the album a 0?
Yeah. I was like, I know you're going to want to hear what they had to say about this one.
I always want to know what he says.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that one he says here, Smith and his beloved are in the winter of their relationship, and after years together, the good times aren't so good anymore. Even Christmas is flatter and colder than it used to be. Appropriately, a chill runs through the music as those shimmering guitars heard on previous cuts suddenly turn shrill. The ending Smith envisions here might be worse than a breakup.
I really don't understand that.
Yeah, I actually don't agree with what he thinks is going on in this song.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, maybe his complete misunderstanding of the song is like kind of indicative of his misunderstanding of the entire album.
Maybe.
I don't know. But Sound Blab, I've been saying how great those reviews were and the whole track by track review. And I really like what they say about this one. Last Dance is yet another mournful tune about a meeting with an old lover who now generates no interest in the narrator at all. The pensive keyboards create the mood of uncomfortable tension Smith growls about, while the syncopated percussion created by Boris Williams keeps everything off balance. I definitely agree there. And I have one more. I don't think I've shared this review from Classic Rock Review yet, but this is from 2014. So it was another, I guess, 25th anniversary look back. And they say, Last Dance has some strong guitars which arrive after the synth intro. However, while Smith carries a strong melody throughout the track, the music is quite timid and does not keep up with the mood.
Timid?
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that. And that's why I wanted to share it with you because I wanted to see what you thought.
Well, this song does sound musically very different to me than most of the rest of the album. I was really struck by that as I was listening to it today. It seems much more like a big washing of noise. It's less distinctive in sound than most of the other songs. It's just like guitar, bass, feedback, and not very many keyboards.
Yeah, right.
There are some keyboards in the very beginning, which I actually kind of isolated here, a sound sample, because I actually like the sound of them so much. I just wanted to isolate them to point them out. So I guess these are the keyboards that guy's talking about because there aren't many in the song.
Well, I'm wondering if they're ones I'm thinking of, too.
I'm thinking of these that kind of sound like strings or something.
Okay.
These right here. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm glad you had that sample because I was going to tell you, I like those, I call them big blue keyboards. They come in at about 103 in the song. And for some reason, when I listen to those, they put me in mind of the keyboards in Fight, in the song Fight. Mm-hmm. And although when I went back and listened, I wasn't exactly sure why. They aren't the same. But for whatever reason, they just kind of gave me that same kind of feeling, that really low keyboard sound.
Yeah.
But that must be the ones he's talking about as well.
I guess so. Or maybe we'll talk about the music a little bit more as we move on. But I just have one last. I have a review.
Oh, good.
I just want to mention. I don't want to get off track.
I threw a bunch of reviews at you, so it's certainly your turn.
This is, of course, my Slicing Up Eyeballs reader survey of the top 98 Cure songs.
Yes, yes.
From June 2010. They put this song at number 69, the lowest ranked track on the album.
Wow.
I have to think the fact that not everyone originally had this song when they bought the album probably figured into its poor showing.
Yeah, I would like to think that as well.
Because it's not one of the top 4 songs on the album, but I still can't believe people like Close Down better than Last Dance.
Yeah, I know. This is really more of a complete song, I think, than Close Down is. I think we kind of did establish the fact that Close Down seems rather unfinished.
Concur.
Uh-huh.
So this song, what's it all about? You just gave 2 reviews. One said it's
Like
a long romantic relationship that is starting to cool off and go into the winter of its life cycle.
Yeah.
The other said that it's Smith meeting an old flame or something.
Uh-huh.
So what do you get from this song?
Yeah, I think it's a lot closer to that second interpretation. Somebody that they were friends in maybe in high school or, early on. Well, they were younger. And they haven't seen each other for quite some time. They wanted to meet up again. So they are meeting up again. And it's like Christmas time. And, I think of this as like, oh, they were maybe on a college break or maybe even later on past college. And
you put the setting at Christmas time. Is that why you play it every year at Christmas?
Yeah, it's in my Christmas playlist.
You put it on your mixed Christmas CD?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, sure. It's right up there with
I always wondered why you had that on
Sleigh
there.
Ride and yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, but when they meet, he can tell pretty much right away. Even the fact that she shows up on time, I think he's like, wow, things are different. And as soon as he kind of starts interacting with her, he's like, yeah, she is not the same person that she used to be. The magic has died.
Right.
So what do you think?
I think a lot of those same things, but maybe not 100%. Robert explained in 1989 about this song, saying it was about someone that you meet and you haven't seen for a long time and you used to have very strong feelings for and you don't anymore. You suddenly realize it's a horrible sensation. So that kind of does jive with what you said. But, I didn't see that quote until the last few days. All my life, I've always thought that this song basically broke down into 3 parts.
Okay.
And the first part is verse 1. This verse is his fantasy of what the meeting is going to be like. She's expectant, punctual, and prettier than ever. And he believes that this meeting is going to lead to something that lasts forever. That's kind of what I always envisioned.
Okay, like a first date kind of thing, maybe?
No, not a first date. It's someone he used to be. He did used to have a relationship. It's like an ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
He's kind of waiting there daydreaming about what it's going to be like when they meet for the second time.
I see.
Then the part 2 are the next 3 verses where the meeting actually occurs, and it's not really that wonderful for him. She's old and content, no longer the wild girl he loved, but like a mature woman.
Uh-huh.
The word fur used to really bother me.
Oh, I know.
I didn't know what it meant. I think fur comes from the fact that she used to be wild, and now that she's old, she has hair.
Okay.
I think it's just something like that. He thinks about how good life was before when they were together, and that life is represented by Christmas time.
Ah.
These days, things are flatter and colder. I wrote down, he thought that maybe they would kiss at the start of the meeting, but too many thoughts go through his head and he kind of misses the opportunity if there even was one. And the line, I got that from, I didn't write it down, when he says, all this in an instant before I can kiss you. As he sees her, he has this rush of memories that keep him from acting. And, the point is, or, there's a question whether or not it was even appropriate for him to kiss her anyway.
Yeah.
It's been so long. And then the third part of the song, the last 2 verses, the real play-by-play of the meeting, she's reluctant and cautious because she's moved on completely. Mm-hmm. He's kind of hopeful. He says he's moved on, but he's kind of hopeful that a spark might happen here.
Yeah.
And he realizes things will never be like they were before. Even if they got drunk and lose their inhibitions, they wouldn't be able to replicate what they had when they were young. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of similar, in my opinion, of the song that I've had for my whole life.
Yeah.
He hadn't moved on. He was hoping for something here.
Uh-huh.
And that's not what Rob is saying, and that's not what you were saying.
Okay.
So I can't argue with both of you. If one or the other of you said that, I would stand up to you guys. But
no, it's like 2 against 1. Forget it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if I already said this or not. She has outgrown him, and he realized that. The one line that's kind of interesting: contentment that hangs in a basement. Mm-hmm. And of course, it sounds like a basement. And I don't know if that's a play on words, an intentional play on words or not, but I had to go look up what the word abasement meant because I wasn't really sure. And it means like humiliation or degradation. So when he says contentment that hangs in a basement, does he think that she's embarrassed to be content with how her life is now? Like she's all grown up and mature, but maybe around him, she kind of feels bad about it when she sees him and how he's kind of still the same guy he used to be.
Yeah.
And she's moved on. I don't know. And I wonder also if it is that play on words, contentment that hangs in a basement, like the actual room in the house, like it's not on display in the main part of the house. It's tucked way below. Like she's embarrassed to be happy about her life. Like, so it's in the basement, like in the closet kind of thing. I don't know. That might be overanalyzing it.
No, I think it's appropriate to wonder about it because it is a confusing line. This was actually the song that introduced me to the fact that there was a word, a basement, because I thought that he was saying she was hanging in a basement.
Yeah, that's really
And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this guy?
That's really morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see those words with hair and contentment that hangs in a basement, growing up, I never thought about it too much. I just sort of, how a woman's hair can hang.
Sure.
She was kind of letting her hair, tilting her head forward and letting her hair hang down to cover it, some of her face because she was a little bit embarrassed as they met again or something. Just because, she really didn't want to be there. According to my
No, I get that.
vision of it.
I see where you're coming from there.
Like I said earlier, I used to feel bad for folks that didn't have this song. Because when I first got this tape early on in my life, I thought this song was really, really good.
I remember you really liking this song a lot.
And I like it less now than I did then. I can't imagine the album not having it. But when I listen to it now, like I said before, it just doesn't have like that structured, concise, clean sounding music to it. It just feels like a big wash of noise to me. Like I said, it's still good.
Yeah.
But I would rank it next to last.
Wow.
Of the songs on this record. For me, I would have this second to last, and then last I would have Close Down. And there's a big gap between those two songs. I like this song a lot more than I like Close Down. But I don't see how this song can stand up to every other track on the record. I think they made an excellent decision with this one. If they had to leave two songs off, this one at least was an excellent decision.
Okay. That's really interesting what you're saying about it, because my notes in here, I really like this song. It's pretty straightforward compared to some of the others on here. Easy to listen to and easy to understand. That's exactly what I wrote. Because I do think there isn't as much to it. It is a little bit more basic.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So,
right.
And I mean, maybe I was ready for that after the first couple songs, although we haven't really gotten into the meat of the album yet as far as the heavy stuff. I don't know. I like this. I also think the drums in this song are really cool. They kind of keep things off kilter and add tension to the encounter that we're hearing about in the lyrics. And vocally, I think this is very straightforward. There's not nearly as much emotion here as we hear in other songs. It's to me, it's very simple. But I do like the keyboards at the end because it's kind of like they don't end. It takes a long time for those to go away. And it's kind of, to me, signifying that he doesn't want this moment to end, even though it's clearly time for it to end.
Yeah.
I think that is a good comparison. Yeah, I like this song. I think it's a good song.
And the last really cool thing about this song, Sarah.
Oh, now it's really cool, huh?
No, the song isn't really cool. The thing is really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. At 3 minutes and 40 seconds, if you listen very carefully.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
In the background, really low in the mix, you can hear Robert sing Your Name Like Ice into My Heart. And it's cool because that is a throwback. That's a lyric from a song called Cold on the album Pornography.
Yes.
And the lyric in the song Pornography was, I await the next breath, your name like ice into my heart. And so it's kind of cool since, he was saying this album was a spiritual relation to the album Pornography. It's kind of cool to have that callback to the lyrics.
Yeah, I like that. And I'm glad you mentioned it. I did have it in my notes for some reason. It totally slipped my mind to mention, so I'm glad you mentioned it. So this is the second song, and in fact, the second song in a row that he below the radar quotes another song. This time It's one of his own.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
Love song.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons, folks, why you got to follow the instructions. This music has been mixed to be played loudly.
That's right.
So turn it up.
That's right.
Because that's something you're not going to hear.
No, you got to hear it loud. And it really does work best in your headphones.
Sure does.
Good call.
Thank you very much. All right, let's go on to the next track. A track called Lullaby.
I'm getting the shivers just thinking of that song. Oh boy. And this was the first single that was released for the album in England, in the UK, and elsewhere. It was released on April 10th, 1989, just a few weeks before the album came out. And this became the Cure's highest charting single to date in the UK. It got up to number 5.
That's right.
Yeah, really good.
If you remember in episode 1 of this, we read a review where somebody, I forget what magazine it was, but he didn't really like the album, but he said the single had been on my turntable for like the last 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But this album will probably never get on my turntable again.
Oh, man.
But he loved this song.
I hope that person revisited. Yeah. So it didn't just do well in the UK, it did well in other countries too. Poland, it got to number 1.
Yeah.
Woohoo! It was number 3 in Ireland, number 4 in Spain, and it was also number 5 in Austria and Norway. That was pretty cool.
It was a top 10 single in 11 countries total.
Wow.
Germany took it to number 3 as well.
Very good. Oh, somehow I missed Germany. Sorry, Germany. Yeah, so in America, it was released later because we had the next song as our first single, but it did eventually get on the charts in America, and its first week on the Billboard Hot 100 chart was December 2, 1989, when it appeared at number 85. Interestingly, that same week, Love Song was number 83, and it was on its way out of the top 100 after peaking at number 2. And that was its 17th week on the chart, so that was pretty impressive. Lullaby didn't do so well. It only peaked at number 76 on the Hot 100. However, it did do well on a lot of other charts. And do you have some of that information that you'd like to share?
Well, I have some end-of-the-year chart information.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will go ahead and continue on with the other Billboard charts that Lullaby was on. On the Dance Club chart, it peaked at number 31. Got there at the very end of the year, December 30th, 1989. On the Alternative chart, which at that time was known as the Modern Rock chart, it peaked at number 23 on November 25th, 1989.
That's a disappointing showing, actually.
Yeah.
Fascination Street was a number 1 song on the Modern Rock chart.
Yes.
As we'll discuss. So that's kind of a big... I wonder if the alternative music fans were a little annoyed with Love Song or something, with the Cure kind of selling out in their mind, and they're like, I'm not going to support this third single.
I don't know what their problem was.
That is really... I think that's a really weird drop.
Yeah, it is. And this is a great, great song, so I don't know.
It's so great. It was on the end-of-year charts in Australia, where it was number 25, Germany, where it was number 12, Italy, where it was number 25, and the Netherlands, where it hit number 90 for the end of the year.
Okay.
So 90 is not that good, but hey, for a whole year worth of songs,
right,
the 90th most popular, that's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's pretty respectable. A single has to be a pretty massive single to show up at the end of the year chart.
I agree. Yeah, especially since in the other countries, it was released back in April. So, it had a lot of competition the rest of the year for songs to do better. So, yeah, that's impressive.
Now, my favorite thing about this single, European single, is that 2 of my very favorite Cure songs are the B-sides of the single, Babel and Out of Mind.
Oh.
Those are 2 great songs. And they were the flip side of this single in Europe, but in the U.S., they were the B-sides for Fascination Street, which we mentioned is the first single that we got.
Yeah.
So by the time the U.S. label decided, hey, let's release Lullaby as the third single, oh, hey, we already used those B-sides.
Yeah.
So they had to come up with brand new B-sides for Lullaby in the U.S.
What did they do?
So here in the U.S., we got live versions of Homesick and Untitled as the B-sides to that single.
A little bit of a cop-out, but all right.
So Babel and Out of Mind were the B-sides of Fascination Street. They're also on the box set Join the Dots.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with those songs, they're both awesome, especially Out of Mind, in my opinion. Check that one out if you haven't heard it.
Yeah, I like that one better than Babel. Yeah, they're both good. Man, I'd like to know, how did they rank against Too Late?
Oh, Too Late is the greatest of all B-sides.
Okay. That was easy. No question there.
All right. Actually, there's 2 B-sides. If they went head-to-head, I'm not sure what I would do. If Lullaby faced off against Depeche Mode's Dangerous.
Oh, man.
I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Oh, but what about See You Sin? I love See You Sin.
See You Sin's good, but not as good as Dangerous.
Oh, okay. Now we're going back to our Some Great B-Sides episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to The Cure. Actually, no, let's go back. Let's go to Holly Johnson from Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Holly Johnson actually reviewed Lullaby in the episode of Smash Hits where this song was reviewed.
Holy cow.
He reviewed all the songs that week in that issue. So would you love to know what
I would love to. I would love you to read every review he wrote in that issue.
Well, I don't have them all here, but I can easily direct you to them. Very nice. Yeah, so I thought you'd be excited to know that I had his words on this song.
Okay.
And here's what he says. Everyone here loves the instrumentation, but it doesn't seem to have much of a song hidden beneath that. It's very atmospheric. I love the violins and the arrangement of it, but in today's world, there isn't much room for it on a chart level. Okay. It's not one of those fabulous Cure songs. It's a nice vibe more than anything else. It reminds me of Mantovani. And in parentheses from the editor, writer of romantic orchestral tunes for grannies.
Oh.
I would have expected The Cure to have come back with a much stronger song, and that's quite surprising. But no, good luck, Robert.
Oh, man. Looks like Holly Johnson wasn't quite right.
I would have to agree. Yeah, but it was very interesting to hear what he had to say.
That's the second biggest mistake he made. The first biggest mistake was recording Liverpool.
Yeah.
So the NME,
Yes.
they said, even in his unhappiest moments, Smith can't quite shake off his genius ability to write a brain-invading pop song. So there's no love cats or caterpillar girls here, but there is a Spider-Man who haunts musical Bad Trip Lullaby, a song that teeters between novelty and nightmare. I like that because that is something that I used to think about the song. Well, actually, I still think it. But when it was out on American radio, I said it's too much of a novelty song. That's why it's not going to chart higher than it did. But, you know, it's not the first time that The Cure has had a novelty type song. They are one of the few bands that can get away with it.
That's right. Very, very true. I just heard Caterpillar on the radio yesterday.
I can't do that.
I can do it. So, you want to know what the Billboard review says?
Yes.
All right, from 2014. Proving once again how different America and Britain are, this creepy crawly fairy tale reached number 5 in the UK, where it remains The Cure's highest charting single. Here in the States, it managed only number 74, which isn't bad considering it plays like a Tim Burton movie condensed into 4 minutes of eerie pop hypnosis. No one needs to hear this while driving a car.
Well, that's true. You may think there's a spider walking down your neck or your back.
Or maybe it'll put you to sleep. I don't know.
Well, that's not nearly as terrible as for someone who gave it 0 stars.
I know.
Wasn't too critical.
Right. Some of these aren't as bad as you would think. You have any more?
I have just a small quote from a website called Immortal Reviews.
Oh, good. You found that one too. I did as well. So what do you have to quote from that?
They said, many of the songs The Cure has released have a happy or upbeat tone to them, though it distracts from the powerful broken message each song has. It's very present on Disintegration, especially on tracks like Lullaby. The song has a perky instrumental that gives it an almost warm mood, but the lyrics tell a different tale.
Yes.
I like that. I like them pointing out the difference in tone between the music and the words.
Oh, yeah. Soundblab says something similar. That person, I believe it was a woman, said, the song that joined with a video to launch A Million Nightmares was Lullaby. The melody to Lullaby is gorgeous and creepy at the same time, and the lyric is a musical horror story. The music backing up the nocturnal attack is, in my opinion, the kind of stuff Mozart would have been writing if he were composing in 1989. I think the cut would have been a hit with no vocal whatsoever, but that's just me.
That's quite a statement to say that Mozart would be writing that type of music if he was alive.
I know. I thought that was pretty impressive. Rock me Amadeus.
Yeah, that's what I thought he'd be writing.
Sure.
And of course, Slicing Up Eyeballs readers.
Oh, yeah.
In June 2010, put this song where, do you think?
Oh, wow. I'm going to say number 5.
Sorry, they put it at number 22.
22?
So I guess some of the American readers offset the reviews of the UK readers, maybe.
Yeah.
And kind of drove the average down a bit.
Well, okay. I'll take it. Do you want to talk about the cover art for this one?
If you want to, sure.
It's got a big old spider on it. Of course, that's understandable. But it's kind of fuzzy. It's not as explicit as it could have been, but it's still there. I do like that candy stripe lettering, though. That's very twisty, and it's got the stripes in it and the letters. It's
I like that a lot. I like this picture sleeve a lot.
Well, it's certainly appropriate.
I like it a lot more than the one we're going to talk about next.
Oh, okay.
So I think this was an awesomely quirky choice for a single. It's much like Caterpillar or the Love Cats, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Although I can understand why it wasn't as successful in the U.S. as it was everywhere else. You know, the whispered vocals aren't really something I can see being successful on American radio. This doesn't sound like something we wanted to hear.
No, I agree.
Regardless of how cool or quirky the song is.
Yeah.
I do remember hearing it on college radio. And it was popular there.
Oh, yeah. Mine too.
My favorite memory of this song is actually I really enjoyed playing this song and the video for my buddy Jim.
Oh, yeah.
The next year, I guess 1990, because he didn't really care too much about music. he wasn't really a music fan. He just liked what he heard on the radio.
Yeah.
But he did hate spiders.
Uh-huh.
So this song and the video especially made him completely cringe and discomfort. So I love showing it to him.
Aren't you nice?
Yep.
You're like the rest of the Cure members torturing Lowell.
Yeah. I hate spiders too, but my hatred of spiders is less than my love of making him uncomfortable. So that's why
I believe that.
That's why I enjoy doing that so much.
I love this song. I think this is such a cool sound. I love from the very beginning we get this wonderful combination of acoustic and electric guitar. It sounds so terrific in the headphones. And then Robert's whispering voice adding some drama there. And then we get those plodding drums. Here's those drums that are very methodical, very, the same the whole way through pretty much.
I love these drums.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the keyboards and the staccato string plucking sounds. That's good. That's really good.
It was supposed to be subliminal. You weren't supposed to mention it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was subliminal. I didn't hear anything. And then we get that bass just creeping along like a spider. Dum, da-da-dum, 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 dum, dum.
It does sound like a spider.
It is. It's like a very slow, that tarantula that we see in the video, just kind of a boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And yeah, the staccato keyboards kind of remind me of plucking a spider web or a spider walking delicately on a spider web.
Yes, it makes me think of plucking the spider web.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that. My favorite part are the drums. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
This is the song that has the awesome fill-ins, the very regimented.
Right, which very much lend itself to the video as far as he's dressed like a soldier. It's like a marching kind of.
Right. They're fun to air drum.
Another sound in here to me sounds like a combination of a rattlesnake and a tambourine. It's probably some instrument that I've even talked about before, but of course at this point my mind is blank. I don't know what it is, but do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe there's some song.
Don't remember that.
Okay, well, listen again and listen for something that sounds like a combination of a rattlesnake and a tambourine.
All right. It's not bad enough that there's spiders all over the song. You've got to throw in a rattlesnake.
Yeah, spiders and snakes.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I know. There are just so many wonderful layers in this song, and they are all so fantastically arranged. I remember years ago you talking to me about this album, and you said how wonderfully arranged you thought it was, how well arranged. You think that this whole album is really well arranged. Mm-hmm. I remembered that.
Well, you should, because anytime I have wisdom to impart, I'm not speaking for my own benefit.
Oh, all right.
It's always for the person who's on the receiving end of my wisdom.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I didn't even write it down. I just remember you saying that. And
it's
I totally agree. It definitely has a dreamlike atmosphere, but not a real comfortable dream, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So what is this about? It's about spiders?
Well, didn't we mention in a previous installment that this song came from like inappropriately terrifying bedtime stories that his dad would tell him?
Yes, I think we did. It's either his dad or I even saw one source that said it might have been his uncle that told him really bad stories.
Well, I think we had previously mentioned his dad.
Yeah. Someone in his childhood liked to tell stories that ended with horrific and not happy endings.
Yep.
And I'm sure that was not so good for him back then, but it has worked out to our advantage here on this song because it's really cool. I've also seen, though, that it could be about drugs. And I think in particular it would be LSD, because I think one of the effects, or maybe coming off of drugs, one of the effects is like you feel like you have bugs on you. This is all about like bugs and spiders and stuff. So
I guess that could be true. It sounds like it could be. I've never really thought of that just because with such a powerful video, I just take it at face value.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good interpretation of the song that you're watching.
Well, I think that Tim Pope has said things about...
He did.
He thinks that it was about addiction and drugs, but I don't think Robert has... Actually don't know what Robert has actually said about this.
I didn't find anything of Robert.
No, I've just seen what other people have said, about the lullabies or the fairy tales from his childhood, and
yeah,
I haven't seen what he's said about it.
Can you picture any other singer getting away with this song?
No.
I was like trying to think of somebody who might have been able to sing this and release it and not get like laughed out of town.
Well, here's the thing. I say that, and yet this song has been covered by 14 different artists, including editors who did a cover of it in 2007.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they did it for their own album called Radio 1 Established 1967, but then it was also on a compilation called Pictures of You, Tribute to Godlike Geniuses, The Cure, which was put out by NME to accompany their February 28th, 2009 edition of the magazine. So I went and listened to the song. I wanted to hear what they had had to say, because I have one of their albums. I don't remember which one. And it's interesting. It's faster. And so already that's to me a problem, because this song, because it's supposed to sound like a spider slowly creeping along, that's not doing it for me because it's faster. So
Is this the band that thinks that they're Joy Division?
that guy's vocals kind of sound like, yeah.
Does it sound like Joy Division?
No.
Okay.
No, they've evolved since that one album, but it's still very different. It's in a different key. That also freaked my mind out a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But I do think a part of the charm and appeal of this original song is the tempo, and this faster tempo just gives it such a different feel. But this song has been sampled in 18 songs. It's been covered by 14 different artists. It's like a very popular song.
I would be interested to know the percentage of those covers where the people just sing it, just straight out sing it, as opposed to like Robert doing the whisper vocals that are not really even singing at all times.
Another group that kind of covered this song was the British electronica group called Faithless, and they had a song called Spiders, Crocodiles, and Kryptonite. But instead of them actually singing the words, they had Robert Smith re-record the vocals. And the lullaby part of the song starts at 112 if you would ever go and listen to it. It's a very strange song.
Is it a mashup of this song, Crocodile Rock by Elton John, and Pocketful of Kryptonite by the Spin Doctors?
No, but that's an amazing idea.
That's what, from the name, that's what I imagine it is.
Yeah, I know.
I think everybody thinks that, Sarah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they should do that. I don't know why they haven't yet. But no, it's like a really bizarre mix of different sounds. And then it does turn into Lullaby, basically, with Robert singing the vocals in a slightly different way. And then it kind of goes on to something else. I couldn't actually listen to the whole thing, but
I'll listen to that part of it.
yeah, check
I'm
that
interested
out.
in hearing how he sings it.
You might want to hear the few seconds that lead into it just to see how much of it changes when it goes to that part of the song. But yeah, it's interesting. I was surprised how many different, and it's on like some lullaby compilation CDs for children.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, okay.
Well, although I love this song, Sarah, I think that as much as Love Song sounds out of place on this album,
Yeah.
I think so does Lullaby.
Oh.
But I wouldn't want it removed from the album, or I wouldn't want it moved to a B-side. You know, at this point, I'm really used to having it here. But I have to imagine when I first got the album, I must have thought that the second half of this first side was, more than a bit diverse, because we're getting a lot of different styles right here in the latter half of the first side.
Yeah.
With Love Song, Lullaby, Fascination Street.
Yeah. It is funny as we're going through this, we see so many reviews, especially these latter day reviews, that are saying that this is one big story. There's one big kind of morose depression, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. But there are quite a few different elements on especially this first half that,
Oh, yeah.
once you stop and think about it, yeah, this is actually a lot more diverse. But I don't know, this is different from a lot of the other songs on here.
Definitely.
But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't take it off here either because it still fits. I think it's, kind of got this dark vibe to it.
So speaking of that dark vibe, I think a lot of that darkness comes through in the wonderful video
Oh, yeah.
that Tim Pope and the band put together for this single.
Yeah, this video is iconic, really. And it did win an award. It won the Brit Award for Best Video in 1990.
And it deserved it.
I agree.
It's fantastic. It deserves all the acclaim that it received. And of course, Robert said at some point in time something about it being just a throwaway video. He was surprised that it won because it was just a throwaway video.
Throwaway video. No. Like maybe the next one that we're going to talk about is a throwaway video. Like a straight up performance video. Yeah. This took some work. This took some planning. This took a lot of effort, and it shows, and it was done very, very well. And Roger O'Donnell says Lullaby was, by all accounts, a huge production. So, yeah, this is not throwaway. Shut up, Robert.
Yeah, really.
That's a lie.
So everyone looks really cool in this video. The band, they don't appear too often, but they're dressed up in cool, like Revolutionary War soldier costumes or something like that.
Covered in cobwebs, of course.
Of course.
And moving very like jerkily and woodenly kind of in the wherever they are, off in a closet or something. I don't know.
Yep. And my favorite part of all is that Simon, the bass player, is playing, what is it, a big...
It's like a tuba or something. Yeah.
I love that the bass is on a tuba.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
And of course, Robert plays two parts. He plays scared little Robert, who's in bed, who at times, for some reason, reminds me of Clara Bow.
Clara Bow?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Until it gets to the angle where the camera's looking at his chin when it's more high above him. Makes me think of Clara Bow.
Well, I guess I can understand why you'd say that, because back in the days of those silent films in the early days, they wore a lot heavier makeup.
Yeah.
And you know, their eyes were very dark and made up, and she had the bow lips, you know, the very bright lipstick. So I guess I can see what you're saying. It's like a really Clara Bow on a very bad hair day. That's funny.
And then, of course, Robert plays the very fearsome Spider-Man. Not the popular Spider-Man of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I read some comments on the YouTube page where, well, why don't they use this in Spider-Man movies? Like, well, because it's not really that Spider-Man. You don't want to terrify the 10-year-old kids going to see the Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man Homecoming brought me here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Not really.
And a great thing about this video is that someone remade it shot for shot with Legos.
Yeah. When I came down at one point to see how you were doing with your notes, and oh yeah, I'm watching the Lullaby video made with Lego. I'm like, what? I said, you must tell me about this. And so then I went and watched it. It's amazing. It's really well done.
I know, it's cool.
Super cute. And of course, it's the greatest is that they're using the Joker Lego face for Robert Smith. It's like, yeah, that works.
Yep.
Yeah, this video is super cool. I mean, even from the beginning where we see the clock and it's like a reference to 10:15 Saturday night. When as soon as it goes to 10:15,
oh yeah,
boom, that's when the magic happens, so to speak.
I had some choice Tim Pope quotes about the video.
Very good.
Things I found that I just pulled out of the interview because I thought they were interesting.
Okay.
One is Lullaby, where Robert, to quote the lyric, feels like he's being eaten by 1,000 million shivering furry holes. One of the best lines of any pop song ever, surely. What was I to do with the video? But I took that out just because I like that he thinks it's one of the best lines of any pop song ever. And he says, famously, Robert was shocked to see my interpretation of a spider's mouth. Go check the video for yourself and tell me if you think what eats him resembles any part of the female anatomy. In other parts of the video where he is bedbound, he spent a day inside a spider web made from glue-like candy floss and doubtless had colorful solvent-based dreams that night. The byproduct of the glue was that it pulled off half of his hair when he tried to remove it from his face.
Oh, no.
Which, when you are Robert Smith, is, I guess, bad news. But it's bad news if you're anyone, really.
Yeah, right. It's not like anyone wants their hair coming off. Yeah.
And the last quote that I took was, The Cure is the ultimate band for a filmmaker to work with because old Smiffy really understands the camera. His songs are so cinematic. I mean, on one level, there's this stupidity and humor. Right, but beneath that, there are all Smiffy's psychological obsessions and claustrophobia.
Wow.
I like how he calls him Smiffy.
Smiffy. Well, Roger O'Donnell has some memories of making this video. He says, I can't remember the exact location, and it was all the more interesting as MTV were making a documentary about us making the video. The whole video revolved around Robert in a sort of dream sequence, and we were to play some tin soldiers who popped up for a couple seconds now and again. There were bird-eating spiders, Robert being pushed through the mouth of a giant spider, which was all rather sexual. In fact, as they pushed him through it the first time, I humorously shouted out, "It's a boy!" which made everyone laugh. I remember getting very drunk and explaining to the MTV camera how to make a proper English bacon sandwich. I've never seen that documentary, which is probably for the best, as I'm sure it's very embarrassing. It's a boy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, this video is awesome. It's easily the best video from this album.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to be top 3 Cure videos of all time.
Well, I have to think so. I mean, just off the top of my head.
I don't like the song Close to Me that much, as we talked about in a past episode, but I do respect that video quite a bit.
Yeah, the video is great.
Yeah, so that's got to be up there too. And then I always like to leave myself one open slot leeway in case someone says, well, what about this one?
Right.
And I go, oh yeah, that's my third
I do
one.
like Boys Don't Cry too. Like when they redid it later with the kids playing and the adults in the background.
That's okay. I wouldn't put it in my top 3.
Well, no, I guess, yeah.
You can if you want to.
No, I don't really.
Don't let me saying
I know
it's good, but I wouldn't put it. Don't let that make you change your mind.
I want to leave a spot open too, because I'm sure there's other ones I haven't thought of. Like the Love Cats, because all the kitty cats in it and his polka dot shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good one.
Lots of fun. This song, of course, was very popular in England. They, of course, had to play it on top of the pops. And that led to some more interesting stories and maybe a little bit of controversy, too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. First of all, Roger O'Donnell says that Robert had wanted them all to dress up like the tin soldiers in the video, but either they refused or they couldn't find the uniforms. So either way, they didn't have to wear them, so that was cool. But then when they were getting ready to go onto the stage, the control room said, Robert, you've got way too much makeup on. You've got to take this off. You look too scary. we can't put you on film like this.
He was basically made up like the Spider-Man character, right?
He had super dark makeup all around his eyes and I think more lipstick than normal. Yeah, he looks a little frightening. Well, of course, he said no. So then there was all kinds of discussions and negotiations and all kinds of stuff. But finally, they were all allowed to perform. But apparently, they just didn't do any close-up shots of Robert.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they didn't. I watched that today.
I mean, he's there and you can see him, but he's not super close. Oh, and I also read a story. Well, not a story, but back when they had a little fan newsletter and he'd answer questions from the fans. One fan asked him, "Were you drunk when you performed Lullaby on Top of the Pops?" And he said, "Yeah." Yeah. I don't know if he was that enthusiastic, but that's how I'm portraying it. Because, yeah, of course he was. Look at him. He's like not even close to the mic. He's not even trying.
Yeah, I know.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's like, yeah, he's not whispering. How could you whisper? Another story that Roger tells about the timing of this song being released. Well, this is good because it starts off really funny. They were at Boris's house and Top of the Pops was on and they were waiting to find out where the song entered the charts. And one of the wives said that if it went top 10, she would drink a whole bottle of champagne. And that was like a big deal because she didn't really drink. So they were all watching, or they're all in the kitchen with the radio. The charts were on first 30 through 20, nothing. 20 through 10, nothing. And then 10 through 5 and nothing. And then he's like, I think it was at number 3 or something. This is where his memory gets a little fuzzy. But he's like, I'm sure somebody knows. And then all hell broke loose. He says, Bruno was sent on a mission to scour every pub in North Devon for bottles of champagne. It's still part of local legend. The wife did indeed drink most of a bottle and then was chasing everyone around for another one. So anyway, the party went on late into the night. Everyone was pretty sorry for themselves the next day because they had to go do the Top of the Pops performance. And then he says later on, oops, I got that wrong. I just found out the Top of the Pops video on YouTube. It says we were a new entry at number 12. Haha. Amazing how you build things up in your mind. So with that in mind, read everything else I've written with a pinch of salt.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, man. I thought it was a really great story. And hopefully that part of it was true. He just kind of forgot what the chart position was. I don't know. I just thought it was a really funny story anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. A lot of stuff happens at Boris's house, it seems like. That must be the place to hang out.
It certainly was during this era. Cold country house, and they just kind of didn't have much else to do, I guess.
I guess so. Well, Sarah, you know where I like to hang out?
Tell me where.
I don't really have access to a place as cool as Boris's house, but I do like to hang out on Fascination Street. Yeah, the first single released in the U.S. on April 18th of the year 1989, year of our Lord, and not released anywhere else in the world. Because you know why, Sarah?
I don't know.
Our stubborn U.S. executives did not agree with the choice to lead with Lullaby. And Robert said, yeah, Fascination Street, it's the only one that doesn't really fit the record, which isn't really quite true.
Another lie.
But I like all 12 songs on the record. And I told the American label they could have any one of them as a single. But in fact, Fascination Street would have been my choice as well.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that with a pinch of salt, as Roger says. I don't know. I mean, I do think this was a good single. I think it's a great rock song, honestly.
Here's how it charted here in the U.S., Sarah.
Okay.
In the top Hot 100, number 46. Just narrowly avoided the top 40. On Album Rock, number 24.
Okay, so it did get there pretty good on the rock chart.
Dance Club Play, number 7. And on the Modern Rock chart, it was number 1 for 7 weeks.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, so it did, make quite an impact on that Modern Rock chart. So before we get too deep in the discussion of this one, Sarah, I just wanted to play you a short clip by friend of the show, Richard Blade.
Oh, yes, he did our intro.
He did. And he had Robert Smith on his daily feature, This Is the Day, a few years ago, and he talked about this song, Fascination Street, and this is what Robert had to say.
In America, we were aware of college radio, and there were different stations and playing different things, and Fascination Street suddenly became this really big radio song in America, and we weren't going to release it as a single, and suddenly it was picked up on, suddenly it was rush released as a single, and became a huge song for us, So, I don't know, it's funny because when we were recording it, it was always known, I think it was the rock song when we were recording Disintegration. It was just like the heads down, we edited it down. It was really long. The original recording of it's about 12 minutes long. Just that feedback stuff goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, it's good. And it's another great song to play live because it's just it locks and you're just kind of there. You've got like just 5 minutes of just like It's funny with this 4-piece because it's just 2 guitars, bass, and drums. We have turned into a rock band. It's quite bizarre, actually.
So that's from that time period, evidently just a few years ago when they were the 4-piece with no keyboard player.
Oh yeah,
that recorded that double record live album. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see Fascination Street kind of being a rockier song for that lineup, but it's still, I would think it would need that keyboard part. I'll have to dig out that live album because I'm sure it's on there.
Yeah, that was a great clip from Robert. I was glad to hear from him.
Yep, and it's kind of funny that, once again, there's some discrepancy in the memory, though. Like, he's saying there that it actually was charting on the radio before they even decided to release it as a single.
Yeah.
So I wonder what really happened.
Well, my understanding was that this song was actually picked primarily due to its appearance in the movie Lost Angels. That was a movie that was out at the same time, and this song was in it, and they thought, well, this makes sense to use this song as the first single.
Yeah, a little free promotion.
Right.
Of course, the most famous version of this song is the version that I sang with my friends Luke and Dallas in Guitar Hero Masters of Rock video game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very famous.
I did an incredibly good vocal.
I'm sure.
I seem to recall I got a 100% rating at the end of the game, Sarah.
Oh, very good. That is iconic. Yep.
So at the time that this song was out, I really did feel like this was an important song.
Okay.
And that it was heralding something quite massive.
Oh.
From when I first heard it, I guess there was about a month roughly before the album came out. And I was like, something is going on. This album is going to be, I think, something that we're not quite expecting. Because before this, I had really enjoyed some Cure songs, especially Hot, Hot, Hot. That was the song I really, really liked.
Oh, wow.
But this song just seemed sonically like way more important. I'd never heard anything like the sound of this song. If you go from, that disco kind of funky sound of Hot, Hot, Hot.
Oh, yeah.
I was also into Just Like Heaven,
Sure.
It's a total different sound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So much more massive.
Oh, yeah. And it has, I think, a gritty, grimy feel to it. It really almost feels like grunge before grunge with the thing, that bass line, that gritty, groovy, dirty bass line.
Right.
It feels like grunge. I don't know. And this is definitely their jam song.
I think we said that last time.
I don't like jam songs, but yeah, this is their jam song. They're having a great time. I mean, Robert said it himself. They love to play this live. It is fantastic seeing this live. We've seen it live. It's amazing. I said I don't like jam songs. I do like this one. In fact, I love this song. It really, really rocks.
Sure does. And this is also one of my favorite 12-inch singles by anyone because the extended version is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Also because the B-sides, like I said before, on Lullaby are amazing. That's the Babel and Out of Mind songs that I recommended that everyone check out if they don't know them. But while the 12-inch is awesome, it's one of the weaker picture sleeves from Parched Art. The background is fine. I mean, it fits. It's a very Disintegration-y like background.
Yeah.
But then basically it's just a gigantic font that says The Cure, Fascination Street.
It's in the same style of the album cover. It's white letters, but it's the same font style. And yeah, it just covers up, kind of the same picture type on the background. It's boring.
It is boring. It fits the theme of the artwork, but it's boring.
Thank goodness they didn't do that with all of the single covers because that would have been like terrible. And I'm sure they just probably didn't take as much time or didn't care about it as much because it was a U.S. only release. So they're like, yeah, whatever. We'll give these to the Yanks.
So you have any good reviews of this single?
I have several. Well, let's see. Actually, only 2 reviews of this one. And of course, the Billboard one. So from 2014. And it says, thanks to that surging bass line and whoosh of psychedelic guitar noise, Smith has the wind at his back as he cruises the titular thoroughfare, looking for his version of a good time. Pull on your pout and let's move to the beat, he sings, inventing a goth dance craze that unfortunately never caught on.
That guy's such a goofball.
I know. I know. I don't know what he's thinking.
So Rolling Stone ranks it at number 9 on their 10 best Cure song list, saying, the single Fascination Street, which was inspired by a boozy night in New Orleans, shot to number 1 on the Modern Rock Tracks chart and remains a live favorite. So they're not very critical there. They just basically restate everything we just said.
So you mentioned Immortal Reviews before.
Yep.
I do have here the one sentence from their review on this song. They said, this song is about the incredulousness of searching for a perfect moment, knowing all too well that the moment will never come. It's hopelessly optimistic in such a sad way.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I have a last one from The Quietus. The writer is Ben Graham. much like my other review that didn't really say anything critical about the song, this one doesn't really say much, but I like the way that he writes. He says, Fascination Street, the American hit, the epic intro with that churning bass line moving through a dark desert landscape lit with neon flashes of keyboards and guitar, images strobing into view as the drugs take hold, finally pulling into the city limits. Oh, it's opening time down on Fascination Street. And one last dance, one last drink, one last messy sexual experience before we say goodbye forever. Chiming, shining arpeggios flash like knives in alleyways.
Really great writing there.
It was, and he didn't say sexual experience.
Okay.
He said a more crude word.
I see.
That we can't say because we like to have that little
family-friendly or whatever.
family-friendly logo over there.
Because I'm sure they're sharing this with the kids here.
Yeah, the kids love The Cure.
Well, some of them do. Apparently they must if they're having the song Lullaby on a Lullaby CD for children.
That's true.
Babies. Yeah.
And of course, Slicing Up Eyeballs reader survey of the top 98 Cure songs from June 2010 put this song at number
33?
8.
Oh, good.
Sample comments from the readers were things like the combination of the rhythm, thundering bass, atmospherics, great lyrics, and terrific vocal. Just a killer tune from Chris G. And so dark, so growly, so passionate from Kirk. And I like the fact that Simon Gallup only plays one string on the entire song from C.E. Powell.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that to listen to it, but I was reading in a bass guitar playing message board. People were saying, like, how do you get the sound that Simon Gallup gets on Fascination Street? And people were talking about trying to guess, like, how he got that sound. And one person did say, he played this on only one string.
That's crazy.
And as I was searching for reviews, I found something delightful. That's not a review, but I included it with reviews.
Okay.
But years ago, it's no longer available, but years ago, Foreign Objects Beer Company, which was located in New York, brewed a limited edition Fascination Street Ale.
Oh, wow.
Which Beer Advocate ranked as exceptional.
Oh, man.
And the commercial description for the beer read, that infinite soundtrack of longing and manic passion. This new American hoppy ale was inspired by the perfect expression of those moments and emotions. It's fading and paling, and we know that it's over. So get out and drink the manic sensory explosion of Citra and Vic's secret hops in this beer that burst with aromas of deep red grape skins and tropical citrus. So just put on your head and put on your pout, and let's hit opening time down on Fascination Street.
I don't even like beer, but I'd probably try it based on that.
And I don't even mind that they said put on your head and put on your pout, kind of getting the wrong verb there.
Yeah.
Because I was so impressed that they made this beer in the first place.
Yeah.
I forgave them for it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Too bad they don't make it anymore.
Yep, it was limited edition.
I'd like to just have the bottle. I'm assuming it has an exceptionally cool label.
It was very, very plain.
Ugh,
it didn't have any,
just like the single cover.
It didn't have any Cure style artwork. If the Cure album that it most looked like was Faith, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's really cool. I like that someone made a beer out of it.
Yep.
So, what more would you like to say about the song?
I would like to say, well, I told you how much I loved it when I first heard it. To this day, my feelings haven't changed. This is one song I never get tired of hearing, and it's one of the 3 singles I think perfectly sum up The Cure. Those 3 would be...
Oh, are you going to give us all 3?
Yep.
You're not leaving one open?
Nope.
Okay.
These are not the songs that sum up The Cure, but the singles
understand.
that sum up The Cure. Fascination Street, Boys Don't Cry, and A Night Like This.
Oh.
I put those 3 as if someone said to me, play me a single that the best representation of their sound, it would be one of those 3 songs.
Okay.
And it is the rhythm section of this song that makes it so dang good.
Yes.
Simon and Boris build a groove that sounds like nothing I'd heard before. Well, Boris is out of control with the drums on this album. He's doing so great.
Oh, I know.
He is a fantastic drummer. I know people online always badmouth Jason Cooper, the current drummer. They don't like that he drums with brushes a lot, and they don't like his style and stuff. And I am always like, just lay off the guy.
He's doing his thing.
But focusing on Boris here, I can see why if you're a complete Cure nerd, you just can't get over the fact that Boris left the group.
Yeah.
Because he is so awesome. And then the bass in here, well, the bass line is really interesting to listen to in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
But then that sound that people were asking, how do I get that sound? There's just something about this sound. Like you said, it's grungy.
Yeah.
It's like a filthy bass.
It is.
But it sounds so good.
It is. It's perfect. It's perfect for this song because if this is supposed to represent Bourbon Street or a trip to Bourbon Street, I think that's exactly what you think of. I do, and I've never been there, but it just seems like a really dirty kind of place. Dirty and sweaty and humid and all kinds of bleh. And that's what this song is.
Yeah. And that section that I played in the sample there, I didn't really play any of the lyrics. I played some of that build up to the lyrics. I did that intentionally because I wanted to have that section in your mind for whenever I said, okay, so in the movie The Crow, The Cure offered a song called Burn for the soundtrack. That's a great song.
Oh, yeah, terrific.
And it works really well with the movie. Mm-hmm. But I also think like an instrumental version of this song would have been awesome in the Crow movie as well. And that little section of the jam.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
The Crow basically takes place in a place, that's like New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's that terrible city that's all
chaotic
and real terrible looking. So I think this song hits that same atmosphere, same mood as The Crow.
You're right. Well, and I mean, we get on the 12-inch of this, we pretty much almost get an instrumental version of it.
True.
I think it takes like 5 minutes until the vocals start.
Yeah.
Very, very few vocals in that version of the song. So yeah, it's completely easy to think of this as an instrumental because it almost is.
And of course, the keyboard voices and the synth parts, they sound wonderful. The tones that he's using, they mix in so well with the wall of noise that the guitars are creating. Mm-hmm. This is probably my favorite guitar track that isn't a rock song, that isn't like Tie Your Mother Down by Queen.
Okay.
If I had to pick a new wave song that's guitar heavy, this is my favorite.
Yeah, I think I'd be hard pressed to think of another one myself. This is it's just awesome. It has so much angry energy in it.
Well, I actually have a note about the vocals. I love the vocals. They're loud, they're full of emotion.
Yeah.
But I don't get a sense of anger like I do with the song Disintegration.
No, I don't think that he is angry, but the song and the music is angry.
Okay.
I think that he is annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is like, ugh. He just wants to get it all over with. Let's move to the beat like we know that it's over. He's just kind of, all right, let's go out, go do this thing that we have to do. I know we're going to have to do it, so let's just go do it.
He's resigned to the fact that he's got to go out to Bourbon Street and act like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I know how this is all going to play out, but let's go do it anyway.
We all think we're going to have a wonderful time, that something awesome is going to happen.
Yeah.
Really, it's just going to be stupid.
Yeah. And that is that searching for the perfect moment kind of thing where it's not really going to happen. And he already knows this going before it even starts. And he's like, all right, we're just going to do it.
I think it's a really, really strong vocal performance from him. I think that
agree.
the last song was a great vocal performance, but not because he was great at singing. Just the whisper.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I think he's doing an excellent job of singing.
Yes.
It's tough to compete with the musical onslaught that is behind the vocal. Mm-hmm. And he sounds very strong.
He's up to the task.
And he is up to the task.
Yeah, I definitely hear some, he's almost shouting in some ways when he sings, but it works very, very well with the music because it's just like you keep saying that. I love that phrase, onslaught of noise, because that's what it is. But it's not cacophony. It's not chaotic. It's not, unlistenable. But it is just, there is so much going on. You're like a big city, like a big, loud, crazy city. That's what you get out of this.
Yep. And just because we keep mentioning Bourbon Street and a big city looking for a perfect moment, we've said these things. We haven't really said the quote that they come from. Let me just say, what's the song all about? Robert said that it's about the often cynical delights of exploring a new city nightlife, based loosely on one particular band adventure in New Orleans, 1985, Bourbon Street. The cliche, perhaps.
Yeah.
So it does come from
a real life experience. Cool.
Now, the video for this song,
yes,
the fifth Cure video I had ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I saw the terrifying In Between Days video.
Yes.
Which traumatized me.
I know. You're still working that out.
I am. And then I saw the 3 main videos from Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw this one.
Okay.
And I saw it one Sunday afternoon on MTV, hanging out with my high school girlfriend at her house, as usual. Once I turned on MTV, that's all I wanted to do that day.
Yep.
I just wanted to sit there and watch MTV.
I bet she was pleased.
I bet she wasn't. And they said, we got the new video from The Cure coming up, so I was going nowhere.
Yes.
I sat down and I was like, we can't go anywhere.
Uh-huh.
And came on. I was instantly obsessed. I imagine I sat there like a slack-jawed idiot until it ended. And I'm sure I probably desperately wish that I had managed to record it on VHS.
Oh, sure.
So I could have watched it over and over again for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Just blew my mind.
Uh-huh.
But when you look back at it, it doesn't have any of the wit or the creativity that so many other Cure videos have. but it's still one of my favorite promo clips simply because it ushered in this newfound love of the band.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I still wasn't 100% sold on The Cure.
Yeah.
I only enjoyed about 67% of Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Okay.
And I had Standing on the Beach as well, and I liked
Yeah.
the songs early on the tape, and I liked the songs late on the tape, and I couldn't come to grips with the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
So they were a
Interesting.
band, they were a band I liked, but I didn't love, and that changed with Disintegration. And that was all heralded by this song, which
Wow.
was incredible.
I love that story. Yeah, I don't really remember this video. I didn't have MTV. I didn't have a girlfriend or boyfriend with MTV. I don't know. But when I saw this, I said, this is such a simple video, but I love it.
Right.
And I think it works so well with the song because we have these layers of images that go along with the layers of sounds. It really fits very well together. And, I like how there's kind of like surreal kind of quality to it. It just works really well.
Yeah, I think it does too. I remember I had a cousin, I still have a cousin, but when I was growing up, I thought he was awesome because he knew a lot about music and he'd been interviewed in Smash Hits magazine.
Oh, wow.
He was leaving a Sig Sig Sputnik concert, and they grabbed him and asked him what he thought about the concert.
Okay.
And I was telling him how much I loved the song, and he, of course, had the 12-inch. He was, that's a great song. Blah, 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 blah. And I said something like, Robert Smith sounds like he's a pretty good guitarist. That's young me. That's how I
Yeah.
talk. And he said, he's an excellent guitarist. Try to check out what he did with Susie and the Banshees. And my mind was blown by the fact that this guy from The Cure was so awesome that he could have been in two bands.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't even know it was more than two.
Right.
He was in Susie and the Banshees, The Glove, The Cure.
Yeah.
My cousin was going on about how, in Susie and the Banshees, he is the guitarist.
Right.
That's what he's doing. And
Yeah.
check it out because he's so good at it. And then I saw an interview today where Robert Smith said, yeah, for those years, I was the guitarist for Susie and the Banshees. Well, I played really badly.
Oh,
So,
well, that's what he'll say.
yeah.
Is that really true? I don't know.
But that's my other memory of this video, just because
Yeah,
he looks so cool in the video playing his guitar.
he does. He's got that shoegaze thing going on for sure.
Yep. So Robert said in one article that I read that this video didn't quite get there. So I guess he doesn't like it as much as I do. But to me, this is one of the best promo clips by The Cure. And I always love seeing this one. I click onto YouTube every few months or so and give it a spin, and I really enjoy it.
Very nice.
All right. And that brings us up to the final song of the episode, Sarah. Said we do 4. This is the 4th.
Yeah, and now we're actually going to go on to side 2 if there were a side 2.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is the first track on side 2. Mm-hmm. I'm losing my voice, it feels like, so we're ending this just in time.
Oh, no. Okay.
So this is side 2, song 1, Prayers for Rain.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Side 2.
You had better strap yourself in.
Yeah. From the Making of Disintegration book that we looked through, they say about this song at 4 seconds over 6 minutes in length. That's a really awkward way of saying 6 minutes, 4 seconds. At 4 seconds over 6 minutes in length, Prayers for Rain was the first of the mammoth tracks with which The Cure intended weighing down Disintegration, and its importance to the band can be measured by the decision to title their forthcoming tour after it.
Oh, that's right. It was the prayer tour.
Yeah. So
Forgot about that.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good kind of lead off for this song.
How did he say the time again at the start of that quote?
At 4 seconds over 6 minutes in length. That is super awkward to say. When you read it, it's still a little confusing. But yeah, so he says this clocks in at 6 minutes, 4 seconds. Mm-hmm. Is that about right?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he got it right.
I remember really late one night. I basically stayed up all night, Sarah. And at 25 or 6 to 4, I put this song on the turntable.
Uh-huh. This song is in the key of G.
G?
I just want to tell you that.
What?
Because, yeah, I've talked before about, how that one review said, oh, it's in a minor key. All these songs are in a minor key. No, most of them are in a major key. Fascination Street was another one that was in a minor key, but this is in G, and I cannot get over that because it sounds so dark. Just amazing to me that they can get that out of a G.
That is insane.
It really is.
One of the folks who listens to the show that was kind enough to take me up on my offer to play Words with Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Since I was desperate for some Words with Friends.
Friends.
Opponents. The other day, Nick Oswald.
Yeah.
He is a music aficionado.
Like a scholar?
Like a scholar of music.
Yeah.
Choir director and all this stuff.
Oh, my.
And so I'm going to send out a personal call to him to message me in Words with Friends and tell me how you make a song in the key of G sound as scary as this does. Because I can't understand
Help
it.
us out. Yeah.
Help us, Nick.
You're our only hope. So, do you have any reviews for this song?
I do have one review.
Okay, I have 3.
All right.
So I've got my first one, the Billboard one. You want to hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Prayers for Rain, another formless tune outfitted with a great hook. This time played on the guitar. Prayers for Rain may be the disc's most over-the-top melodramatic moment. That's kind of like saying it's the wettest raindrop. I'm just kind of delighted by how dumb and terrible these reviews are.
I love that guy last episode. This episode, he's getting on my nerves.
I know. All right. Why don't you mention yours?
All right. My review comes from Mr. Minicky's Tea Sipping Reviews.
What? I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, I just found it today.
Okay.
And it's a blog it's written in 2016.
Okay.
By a teenager.
Oh.
Who is, I think, in New York. So I thought it was interesting just that there was a teenager in 2016 that had discovered this album and was writing blogs about it.
Yeah.
And he said in his discussion of the album, if I had to make a call for the best song on this incredibly even album, I would go for the incredibly powerful Prayers for Rain, whose desperation and anger pulses at an increasing rate throughout its length. It also features an amazing string riff that manages to be motivational, epic, and crushingly sad all at the same time.
Good writing for a teenager. Good writing for anyone, honestly. That was a really well-written review.
It was good, and I like just getting that point of view from a youngster.
A new fan.
Who's listening to some music way before his time.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So I've got 2 more. I've got the one from Sound Blab, and I've got a really short one from Classic Rock Review. So I'm going to read the Sound Blab one first. Prayers for Rain is the most musically experimental cut with tape loops being run backwards, upside down, and any other way the band could figure out to create a song so mournful that is truly delicious. The emotional desolation of the lyrics speaks for a longing for rain that would bring much needed hope. The guitars by Smith and Pearl Thompson are outstanding and continually do battle for the front stage with the sound effects and ominous synths. It is a horribly sad song, but oh so good to take in, which has always been kind of the Cure's specialty.
Indeed. I like that one. I guess I got to find out what tape loops are. I thought tape loops were like drums, like percussion tricks.
Well, I think you can loop other sounds.
Can you?
Yeah.
I wonder what part of this is a tape loop.
I think some of that synth stuff is run through tapes and played backwards and stuff. I think some of those really...
In the beginning?
Yeah, and then,
okay.
And then again at the end.
Okay.
I think that stuff is like... Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Classic Rock Review from 2014 says, Prayers for Rain contains well-processed guitars in the distance before some fine drums cut in to add a majestic effect, painting a scene of grandeur. Lyrically, this song is a sneak peek at the emotive American grunge, which would soon arrive. Funny, I mentioned grunge in the previous song.
Just a tad too early, I
guess.
Huh. Well, my last comment on it is, of course, the Slicing Up Eyeballs reader survey of top 98 Cure songs from June 2010.
I love it. You're like, well, of course it's this one.
Sarah, they put the song at number...
90. I hope not. No. You said that none of them were more than like 50. So I'm going to say it's number 20.
Number 32.
Oh, man.
And while that's respectable, I was a little disappointed because I really thought that this song would have finished higher.
Yeah, 32? Okay, in the top third.
Yeah, because I love the song because of the fact that it is the first of the really heavy tracks that set the mood for this album.
Right.
Pictures of You may have been longer, but it didn't cut to the heart of what Disintegration was all about, and this one does. You hear like a complete shift in atmosphere as we begin side 2.
Yes.
Side 1 was nostalgic and gray, but never got too deep before like a quirky track like Lullaby or a pop song like Love Song came on.
You had some relief.
Yeah, it came on to save us from being crushed.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to save us in side 2.
Nope.
We are going to hear nostalgia, raw anger, depression, and plenty of just naked emotion with nothing to break it up in these last 5 tracks.
Right.
And that may not sound very appealing, but I think you're going to be surprised if you're not familiar with this record. It's not as terrible as I make it sound.
It doesn't sound inviting, but yeah, it is surprisingly inviting.
So I have loved this record up to this point.
Okay.
But from this point on, I worship this record.
Oh, boy.
Side 2, even as a youth, just seemed to be where the true beauty of this record was found.
Okay.
And I've always liked side 2 better than side 1. So
Fair.
I'm happy that we got to it.
Oh, good.
Only took 3 weeks.
I know. Well, we said we were going to take our time. And I think it's highly appropriate because there's just so much to say about all of these songs. So I think this song definitely has this psychedelic feel from it right from the beginning. Those weird keyboardy sounds, which I think those are the tape loops. I think that's
that makes sense.
It's like backwards, forwards. It really almost to me kind of sounds like the Beatles, like kind of Sgt. Peppery.
Oh, all right.
Very, very experimental sounding and very foreboding too. I just think there's this kind of dread in this song.
Like that you even hear in the music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This darkness, I don't know, layers of repeating elements, just like in a lot of these songs, but they really help to create and sustain that mood. In this song, I hear at least one, maybe more than one drone in the background, and that adds to the mood. I don't know if you even know what I mean, but if you listen carefully, there's just some really low sounds that are just kind of down there in the background, and they just kind of add that. And that's where it's like, how are you doing this in the key of G? What is going on here? But it's just, oh my gosh, it's just heavy.
Oh,
this
it sure
song is heavy.
Speaking of the repeated, I think you said something in there about repeated
Yeah,
keyboards or something?
repeating elements. Yeah.
Repeating elements. I criticize close down for the keyboards being very repetitive, the same thing every time. I'm going to say that I love on this song the fact that the keyboards keep going.
I know.
I love that keyboard part.
Oh, is that a keyboard? I thought that was the guitar.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was so metallic in sound. I thought it was the...
That's the keyboard.
No, not that part.
No, okay, but yeah, so the other one. You think that's the keyboard?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking that was a guitar.
Oh, I thought it was a keyboard.
Oh, either way, they're both catchy.
They're very catchy and very repetitive.
Yeah,
but
they are.
I'm not going to criticize the song this time.
And you know what else is repetitive?
What?
But I have an even better word for it. The drums. I call them relentless.
Oh, nice.
They are like waves beating against rocks. Just like they won't let up. They are just going on and on and on, and they will not stop, and they were going to beat you down.
I like the very beginning of the track after, well, no, I guess it is the very beginning. There's sort of a blend of like acoustic piano and guitar at the very start. And they blend them really, really well. It gets the song off to a sinister but kind of organic start that's not going to hang around for too long before things get heavy.
Right.
But I really like that song or that sound. It kind of helps draw you in.
Yeah.
And make you think, oh, hey, the same sounds that we had on side 1 are continuing here on side 2. I like this.
No. Then you get drawn down under the waves of crashing anguish.
Obviously, I love this track. It's my second favorite song on side 2, and it's a true Cure classic in my opinion. And one of my favorite things about the track is Robert's vocals.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that Robert's vocals begin. This has always appealed to me. I thought this was awesome, even back in the old days. And it's not anything major. Whenever I listened to it, I isolated it and listened to it myself. I was like, well, it's really not a big deal. But there's just something when he comes in with his first line. There's just an effect on his voice. There's something to it that to me has always sounded like we're joining Robert already in progress. Like we're hearing the vocals for the first time, but he's been raging out for the past 30 minutes. It's just great. We happen to get here right now. I'm not even really sure why it does it. Just listen to when he comes in here for the first time.
Okay.
There's just something done to his voice.
Okay.
It's very, very quick on the word you. It kind of goes from one ear to the other.
Yeah, it's like an echo effect or something. Yeah.
But for some reason, that has always made a huge impact on me. The fact that it doesn't just come in cold. Hey, I'm here. I'm going to start singing. They put that little thing to make it kind of blend its way in or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did it with like very little thought maybe, or just said, hey, let's make this sound cool.
Yeah.
But to me, it's this whole thing where, like I said, we're joining him in progress.
Interesting take on that. I hadn't gotten that out of it, but I do certainly agree with you on the delivery again on this song. Is just tremendous. He is just anguished, I think, is the word here.
Definitely, because when I listen to this song and listen to the words, I hear someone who's railing out against addiction. Like this song, I think, is about addiction, something I believe even more now that I know that Robert was self-medicating as he was writing the songs for this album. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you listen to these lyrics, you shatter me, your grip on me, a hold on me so dull it kills, you stifle me, infectious sense of hopelessness and prayers for rain.
Yeah.
These are the words of someone lamenting his condition and the hold that the drugs or the alcohol have on him.
Yeah.
And he's wishing for like a cleansing rain to come in and wash him back to health.
Exactly.
But instead, he just spends his hours killing time and waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not accomplishing anything.
Right. Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking about the words and thinking about him and thinking about the drugs. And then I start thinking about Ashes to Ashes and thinking about how that song is about him, like kind of just like, oh, I'm so tired of being on drugs and I need to get out of this situation. And I think that's kind of this song as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Whereas Ashes to Ashes is a lot poppier and peppier song, but it's still about a dark subject. You know, this is a dark subject and a very dark delivery, you know, and music surrounding it. Yeah, he's really struggling.
Yeah, you're definitely right, because like if there was a contest about who's the best at doing drugs, I would put my money on Robert Smith unless he was facing off against David Bowie. In which case I'd be like, whoa,
I don't know, man.
I don't want any of that action.
Yeah.
I remember reading
I will not take that bet.
Yeah. I remember reading one of my Bowie books where he talked about how, like, I think it was during the Berlin period, he got up one morning, blew his nose, and like this gray piece of gook came out, and he's convinced it was part of his brain.
Oh my god!
And he said, like, I took so many drugs that I started killing off my brain, and like it was just so rotten that it had to leave my body.
Oh wow!
And I think that was part of the inspiration for him to try to maybe not take as many drugs.
Good plan. Oh my goodness, that is nasty.
But yeah, this is a dark one, and definitely a quite a different atmosphere than Ashes to Ashes.
For sure. Yeah, but it's interesting because, you know, Prayers for Rain implies this dryness, this desert perhaps, and Ashes to Ashes is like very dry and dusty, and I don't know what's going on there. If they're in this kind of a drought of some kind, this situation where they are just desiccated and shells of their former selves, I guess.
Yeah, dried out husks.
Yes, very nice.
It is not a pretty picture being painted by this song.
No.
We did not start side 2 with the most wonderful of images.
No, and this music, I mean, Plain Song starts off and it sounds beautiful. This is beautiful, but in a very, very dark way. I think I love the string keyboards in here.
Oh yeah, me too.
They are gorgeous. They are just lovely, but they are not happy. They're just not.
And those string keyboards, that's another component of this record that I don't think we would have had if Roger didn't basically replace Lowell for the recording of this album.
Yeah. I mean, we get some hints of this sound on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, but not to the same extent. I mean, it's just not developed nearly as much.
Right.
And it really comes to fruition here, and they work to its full advantage in these songs. It really just creates this wonderful atmosphere that makes the album much more cohesive. Even these songs that maybe don't fit in as well, I think some of them have these elements and really does help tie it together.
Sure does. So this song, Prayers for Rain, we got that water imagery. The next song of the album, Same Deep Water as You.
Yeah.
We've got a sort of a link to those songs there. Plus, we're going to get an awesome sound effects CD that's going to add some audio effects in between the two songs. That's going to also help us transition from song 1 to song 2. There's a lot that connects this song to the next song. And it would be great if we were going to go right into it right now.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
But we're not.
Nope.
This was an amazing start to side 2, and it's an equally as awesome way to end this episode.
Sorry, folks.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed our discussion of these 4 songs.
Yeah.
And
I think it's been fun talking about them.
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
And we're going to come back next week, and we're going to finish up this album. We got 4 more songs left.
Yes.
and we're going to kick it off talking about that awesome sound effects CD.
Oh, wonderful.
And same deep water as you.
That sounds so cheesy.
I know. It's going to be great, though, Sarah.
Okay, if you insist.
Yeah, folks, we appreciate you tuning in this time, and we hope you're enjoying this month-long...
This deep dive, so to speak.
Deep dive into the...
Deep waters.
of the deep waters of the Cure. We're having a lot of fun with it. So, if you are enjoying it, please let us know on Facebook, on Twitter, via email. You can go out onto iTunes and leave us a review. We always love that. We've been actually getting quite a good number of reviews recently.
Yes, thank you.
And you also can, if you would like to take part in the podcast, if you have any sort of commentary or review of this album that you would like to get played on the show, give us a call at our voicemail number, 724-490-8324, and we can get that on the podcast, let you share your thoughts with other listeners. We love the thought of doing that.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
hasn't happened very often.
That's right. Yeah. When anyone calls that number, we're like so excited. So if you want to get us excited, then give us a call, share your thoughts with us. But of course, again, we're happy to hear from you in any way that you feel compelled to reach out.
Es verdad. So, folks, we thank you for listening. And if you run into Robert Smith this week, try to motivate him into getting to work on the lyrics for those songs on the new album, and maybe even that song he's got to write from scratch, because I really want to hear this album this year.
Yeah, if you see him, tell him, hey, dude, get in the studio.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here in the world? Go back in the studio.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.